Hammer off.
Hammer off.
Too right.
I'm in the van having a chat with the GTA controller.
The GTA Selector.
Selector.
The Selector, yeah.
Selector. That's my favourite one.
Yeah, it's a belter, isn't it? Do you know what? And everybody keeps saying it to me, and they're like, how'd you come up with it? I was like, I don't. Like, if you listen to the show, I do talk most of the time, you'd be like, that cunt's fucking losing it. Yeah, no, sometimes it comes together for you, yeah.
Yeah, like that one. How's the training going at the moment?
Tipping away, getting there, like, working on recovery mostly, getting back into some jiu-jitsu now. I was back striking, first striking session this morning, mostly kicks and stuff. Yeah, moving well, fucking holding up good, yeah.
Sometimes with guys like you that train so much, sometimes the out rest is...
Do you know what? And that's
enforced, you know, mentally, physically, everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sometimes...
You feel like you're out, I felt like when I was told, don't do anything, and it's like, you're losing your marble sitting there, and because you're so used to getting up and doing something, and then you're like, you have a week off, and you're like, fuck, I have to do this again. Know what I mean? You're like sitting around, then you're getting you're doing your recovery and stuff, but even it's not the same as getting the graft in, is it?
And an injury, like, I'm speaking from experience from youth over the years, me, and now somebody that have no control over it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it unfold for Max.
Yeah, exactly.
An injury is like training, and what I mean is it'll test you.
Ah, 1,000,000%.
It'll test you everywhere.
And you know what? I felt I felt a little bit like I'm like, right, I'm not like, I'm doing the recovery and doing the physio and all, but it's like, I still feel like I can start doing, like, I need to be doing a lot more with myself now. So I'm gonna go out and one of the best things I can do now is running, because like we find that you can't beat running for the head. Yeah. So I'm going to go do this Goggins challenge on the weekend. I think I'm gonna start at Sunday, or like I'm coaching some of them Alta fights on Saturday, so I think I'll start after that.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Nice. Just to keep me ticking over. I find I need to put a little challenge in for myself every week, so whether it's that this week and then I might do a marathon the week after, see what we're doing.
Yeah, so
I'd like to do one of them triathlons. I was talking to Andy Ryan about it, he was telling me doing them, and ever since I was talking to him, it was just a little quick, like when I ran by him by the gym, I was just asking him how he was getting on it, and I think I might try one of them just there.
There's two really good lads I know that are triathlon coaches. Andy is with Mika Kyo.
Yeah.
So Mika Kyo is a really good triathlon coach, and another fella, a friend of Mika's, Jerry Redmond.
Yeah.
Savage coaches, you know what I mean? They help you along. And
yeah, your man Jerry Prendergast, he's from Ballymun as well.
Oh, he does it as well. He does them.
Yeah. I don't know if he does any coaching, but I was going to give him a text and see what he recommended and stuff. So I'll get on to him.
Be interesting. Something different for you.
That's
you know
it. I love swimming, but I haven't swam. Like, no, you go on holidays, you swim in the sea, but like, I mean, consistent lengths like that. Because my ma used to be a lifeguard, so she's always saying, "Oh, we'll go down the pool and do it," but no, you just never find time then with all the other training.
And then open water swimming, because
it's completely different,
isn't it? Yvonne swims open water. Like, she's always swam like sea swims, and all her family do sea swims. That's a different buzz.
Yeah, going against the tide and stuff like that, yeah.
It's a different buzz, because you can't see where you're going with the little, even if it's a small little wave, you can't actually see where you're going, you know?
Yeah, no, fuck that. Could you imagine being like, oh, do you know what, I don't think you can swim anymore and get stuck out in the middle of the water.
Yeah. I see a group of them when I get down for a swim on a Friday, about 30 of them, and they swim like, some of them swim like 500 metres down the beach and 500 metres back, and others swim 1,000 kilometres down, 1,000 kilometres back. But I seen someone there a while ago, like they swim on the beach, so they're not that, it's not that shallow, but wherever they got a bit cold or a bit wobbly and kind of went a bit south, you know what I mean? So it's a different type of swimming. That's the bit that freaked me out. The cycling be grand, the running be grand, the swimming would freak me out, you know what I mean?
And you know what, I actually love running. I went out this morning, I was like, I'll go out on a run, and I just, like, I haven't been really running too much the way I used to, but like, I went out and I done 15k, and I was just like Like, and I kept her at a good pace. It was like an hour and 10 minutes, I think. I done her in, know what I mean? And I haven't. And I was like, do you know what? I find like this would be easy. I'm definitely going to do this.
Running's good. I used to do a lot of it. I don't do so much anymore. It's good for the mind.
Yeah, I find I just go out like now. Like, don't even have to have earphones in. I think I just watch the road go under my feet, and it doesn't matter how long I'm out there. Like,
there's two trains of thought with that. You see the earphones, and I never used to run with earphones. I see people running for earphones, but I never used to run with earphones. I never used to cycle with earphones. The reason being, I want to be able to hear my body. I want to be able to feel it rather than just concentrating on this thumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Feel everything. Feel how you're breathing.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Rather than just
focusing on the breathing is a big one as well. Roddy was telling me about like only breathing through the nose, like so focusing on like, even though like I was like doing that today when I was running, like after the first, I'd say 5 kilometers, it was like now it's just dawdling along, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just what did he say to me that time? No breathing through the mouth, right? Yeah. So just focused on that. Know what I mean?
And even like there's a whole bleeding science behind breathing. Like, if you're feeling anxious or anything like that, like 3 seconds, 2 deep 3-second breaths in through your nose, just inhales. Your head kind of goes light, but you feel way better. Should try, like, any time you're stressed or whatever, about 3-second breath, inhale.
I'll be straight onto that when I'm into
you check it out, and you'll be messaging me going, what the fuck? Your head goes light and all, but you feel a lot calmer. Breath is lethal.
I've been more like, I've walked on me, like I was at the being flat out, and we have that 8K pulse up in the gym now, and like in between, like even the sets of that, like I find your heart rate drops right down if it's like, so I go off, like go 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds out, and then if it's not moving, just hold me breath, and then when I go, then it just goes, drops right down then, know what I mean?
And you can see when you stop people breathing, or you can see lads competing, either MMA or cycling or running or whatever, and you see them panic breathing, like you see the amount of high level athletes, and you're like, that cunt is panic breathing. Do you know what I mean? He's all
he gets caught with a shot and something goes wrong, and
as it does, but like there's a lot to be said for being able to control your own breath. And then you control which way. You
can manipulate it both ways, because I find even when I'm on the bike, like even if it's up on like the 10th damper and you're trying to you're putting the fucking graft in, you're like, my bleeding heart rate's not moving here, but like Alan might be saying to us, get the heart rates up now, because that's the zone you need to be in, and that obviously translates to your wrestling fitness and stuff, that you're able to like stay in that red zone for longer, because that's how hard wrestling is. But it's like, I find you're just constantly, if like the opposite of breathing in, just constantly breathe out, like leave no air in the lungs and push it. And I find like, you're like, there's no air there, but you're getting the little bit you're getting in helps you. You're pushing more with it. Some, like, don't know how it works, but it works for me anyway.
I've done this a few times, and we're going down a bleeding rabbit hole here. I've done this a few times. Now, I've read a few bits and pieces about it before I've done it, and I've seen some high level athletes doing it as well. So what you do is you get a small bit of tape, right? At night time before you're going to bed, so you have no scrolling, no nothing, you're ready to go to bed, and put it completely over your mouth. I've done it a couple of times. Do that in the next few days. Just do it once, you know. Bit of insulation tape, you're like, this cunt is mad, right? Do it, cover your mouth, and wait till you see the way you wake up the next day. It's fucking savage.
Yeah, like completely clear.
Refreshed. Refreshed. You know what I mean? It's like taking a sleeping tablet. When you wake up the next day, you're like going, what, man?
Yeah, that's
some
mad.
Sleep. Some deep sleep.
Definitely.
I've done it a good couple of times, and that I'm saying it to you now, I'm like, I'm going to fucking start doing that again, because I kind of petered off.
It's mad that you do forget about things you were doing, doesn't it? Like I used to go out running like every morning, 5k, and like I remember I started doing it for the fight, and then I come back and my dad have a circus set out for me, and I just done it without thinking, because it was like, right, go up to 5k, then back to my circuit. And then I felt unbelievable. And then I'm like, I'm at the being, obviously, like I can't do too much circuit wise, But I was like to myself then, I was like, why aren't I just even out running every morning? Like, why have I stopped that? Know what I mean? Like, when did I stop that?
Yeah.
Forget about even like little things you're doing.
Running is great. Like I tried running on grass and beaches, and I used to prefer running around St Anne's Park. It's a 4-mile loop. I used to like running through the trees and on grass. I always done it. It's near where my ma lives. I always done it. But I found that I've ran two New York marathons, 2 Dublin marathons.
Deadly.
But I found once I start doing jiu-jitsu and that type of stuff, that when I run, it's like
you're picking up little niggles.
Not even that. Yeah, I'm bringing them in, and then me bleeding knees and me ankles are sore, and someone grabs your leg and you're tapping like you're bleeding out. You know what I mean?
Stop.
And even when I'm going up the stairs, like me bleeding ACLs are like guitar strings going bing 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 bing.
Yeah,
so like,
clicking all over again.
I do. I love, like now. Every couple of weeks I'll probably run a 5k. It'll be slow, won't be fucking like
just getting, but it's just getting out there, isn't it? It's just for the head, like.
It is nice.
No, it's sick.
The out running is nice. And so at the moment you're in Ireland, you haven't gone to Liverpool. There's a good few people that I follow, and I always encourage my own young fella to do it, which he does do it. Is cross training. You cross train between Aspire and SBG Charlestown. You doing that, what do you think it brings to your game?
Well, I find like if like Roddy's obviously like me head coach, and he's like
but
like,
different bodies wise. That's what I'm coming
but
on.
I find like when I put together, like you'll always pick up things off, like I've picked up like the amount of like things like that have changed my game with Dean and Phil over and Aspire, like has really like added to my game when I've like just added to my game overall. But I feel like when I've come home then and had rounds with the lads, like I'm at the being going get complete, like you're getting different sets of timing off different bodies and then different ways of looking at things. So like one thing that I found stood to me for a while was like with staying on top in jiu-jitsu, like Dean says the same about like your cage control. It's like the same sort of points of like where you base your balance, like staying in the centre of the body, not being off too much to the side and little things. And just when Dean was explaining that to me, and then when I was adding it into my game and the rounds over there, I felt like I improved much more. But I find if like with your main gym, like you have your game plan, you have you'll always have you'll probably always work on everything you're the best at, because everybody's going to come in and try beat you, aren't they? So when I go to other gyms, it's like I'm going to be putting my best game out there, but regardless of what my best game is, I'm still going to have to suss out everywhere they're good and work on that, know what I mean? So I find it's good because you get used to bodies, is like probably the best point of it. You get used to your surroundings, and it's they'll get, like some lads they'll play one game with you probably a little bit more because they're staying a little bit safer, where it's fighting's about taking risks, know what I mean? Sometimes you need to get in and trade shots or something you haven't before, and they might realise, geez, I'm at to be missing this whole like you don't want to get figured out in a fight, do you? You figure out like I remember I was at the being moving around with just one of the lads over in the Spire, and he was just drilling me with body kicks. And I was like, can't remember the last time. And I remember because Corday used to drill me with body kicks, and I got really good at catching them. And then he started like leaving the kicks to the legs, and then I went back over there and I was like, he drilled me with body kicks that round. I was like, it's like, this fucker. I was like, why wasn't I catching that? And it's just because I hadn't been doing it, because maybe they've been getting used to me catching the kick, so they stopped throwing the kick to the body. Because like even with the setups, you're doing well at catch. Like when they're setting up a different, you're getting good at catching it and stuff. So I went over, and someone without fear of me catching it, it's just blasting body kicks at me. He was landing on me, so it was like a recalibration for you. It's like, right, it's a reminder. It's like the games, like you say, the games always change, but you can't forget the stuff that you were already good at. Know what I mean? It's like it's good to go back and remember.
100%. And I think as human beings, like we think we wake up in the morning and we're fucking mad different, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we do
yeah.
all different shit every day. In our lives or in our sporting lives or whatever, we think, but really if you put a tracker on us, most of us do the exact same fucking things every time. So me as an onlooker, I love breaking down fighters and looking at particular gyms and particular styles. I like doing it. A lot of fighters from the same gym, this is just me, and there's no wrong way to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not coming in going, oh, that's wrong. I'm just, whatever works for you, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But I look at particular gyms, and from, say, beginners to high level guys, they're very similar to their style.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'll see a particular style in the gym, and then there's another gym that's 10 mile away, and they're really strong at their particular style of what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as you say, like going to a sport or going to whatever, and there's blokes here that are probably listening to this going, oh, I'm staying loyal to the one gym. Sound fucking
do your thing. Like the thing is, it's like at the end of the day, you stay loyal. Like I know, like I just personally like I understand that the staying loyal side of things, but it's like
what I mean is they won't leave. They won't leave. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They won't test themselves like in
no.
the jiu-jitsu gym, or you stay loyal to your head coach. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is test yourself, put yourself in other areas.
But it's like, this is where I, like there's like staying loyal, but it's like if I said to Roddy, I'm going here for Blade 6 months, I know he'd be like, alright, perfect, Blade, let me know how you're getting on. And then it's like, if I was chatting to him about the rounds or anything, or like I'd be talking to him, or we walked on like I might call him like once a week if I'm away, and I'd be like, we walked on this and it was nice, or I can't wait to show you this, and he might we might talk about it for a few minutes, and then know what I mean, he'd still be involved, but he's always happy when I bring like even a couple of things back, know what I mean, and it's good for the team and stuff, but I feel like if you're not going out and testing yourself, you should be at least be encouraged to, know what I mean? Because if you look at any other sports, like even the Thai boxing gyms, but like boxing gyms, when I first started going to them, it was like every week there's a different gym in your house, know what I mean? And it's like some of the spars are they're hard spars, but it's like you're coming in with probably a different game plan every week, and it's developing your game consistently, you know what I mean? Because you might, like my little brother's boxing now out of Ballybuck, and it's like he's going to different gyms, he's doing the Monkstown, the All Irelands are coming up, but it's like they have like game plans for every style, so like from when I'm talking to my little brother, he'd be like, Terry wants me doing this because like my little brother's the same as me, like he hits fairly hard for us, like a fucking little fella, know what I mean? But they have game plans for like different lads that are going to be fighting, and like obviously because everybody knows everybody on the circuit, but it's like it doesn't have to be a body then. When he gets older, he's going to be he's going to recognise, right, this fella drills out jabs and he played and goes back into his fucking catalogue of everybody he's fought and how he dealt with the situation, and he's just going to be able to fix it like that. Where it's like he gets into a few years into his training, you don't want them being like, fuck me, I've never dealt with a playing really great jabber like this, or like, and the same what you were saying about going and testing yourself in a jiu-jitsu gym and stuff like that. Even when I was down doing me like apprenticeship down in Kerry, I was down in Tralee, but in Killarney there's SBG Killarney, PJ Lacey is his name. I was down training in his gym, and like for the first 2 or 3 weeks the boys were wrapping me up, know what I mean, like just cause like mostly MMA, you're not using the suit too much, but I forgot how good the suit can make it, even no-gi, know what I mean? And when I came back, it's like I was starting to tap out purple belts and all then, and I was like, Jesus Christ. It's like, you think you're doing everything right until you like, you get like someone fucking shakes the roots and sees what apples fall, know what I mean? It's like, I'm doing all my wrestling, I'm doing my jits up in the gym, and then you go and there's a completely different side of your game that it's after getting found out now, know what I mean? And they've just, like, they solely do jiu-jitsu, so
specialists.
Yeah, so that like when they've seen all them answers,
Yeah,
so now you have to suss out what they have answers for. Know what I mean?
And the same comes from like there's all types. I've spoke to other people and they'd say now the data suggests that MMA gyms have it, but I'm not so sure on that. I like me lads going to pure boxing gyms, pure jiu-jitsu gyms, pure wrestling gyms.
It doesn't mean you have to develop that style, but it's like I find if
number one, the cunts are going to put it on you.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? And number two, you're going to have to find ways of when they put it on you to get out of it, or little tricks, and you take stuff from them.
Like even when I'm over in Liverpool, like there's a couple of lads like that are there. Like a couple of lads that are good with the hands and boxers. Like one lad, mainly Marcel. Like he's a pro boxer. I think he's at the winning the WBC like international title like there. And I like even doing rounds with him, I find like there's not like the skill sets aren't like they're similar. Like we're both at the same level, but like he's a better boxer because he's able to do things in volume and he's a little bit sharper on the jab. And now, but it's like if you're able to like do rounds with people like that and like he's pinging me with a jab or he's good in volume, you have to learn to block in volume. Then you have to learn to deal with someone who's works solely on the jab. And if you're able to do that, like when you go back to an MMA gym with someone who doesn't do that and doesn't suss people out like that and doesn't find little ways around it like that, like you're gonna be ahead, isn't it? And I find like he comes down to the MMA gym for sparring as well, just to move around with MMA lads, because the style is different.
Yes.
It's more break, boom, boom. Like in MMA gloves you can't sit there and throw a volume, because you know when you get cracked with them little gloves what's going to happen, know what I mean? You're not going to take too many of them. So it's like he's obviously doing it from a different point of view. He's used to boxing in volume, but he's like, if he's fighting with MMA fighters, he might not be as sharp as like another boxer, but they'll be definitely unorthodox. And that's what you're going to deal with maybe when you watch like some of the Cuban boxers, and they just have a completely different style. Now it's nothing to what MMA is like, but you will get a lot more like probably looping shots the way they throw, and it might be something to help you out that much. And that in a game of fucking inches is loads, no, or a game of millimeters is loads.
No, it is. That's the home I come from anyway. When I was involved in sport and my outfit, the same thing. We always trained with, Ireland was so small that all the best blokes trained together.
Yeah, that's it.
I trained with all different blokes from different clubs. Why? Because there was a load of good people, but they kind of came together and done sessions together. You know what I mean? They tried to mill each other the weekends.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's how it's done.
That's the way it was. So, kind of MMA is so new in this country that I have Christian over in Crumlin. So every Wednesday you get St Mary's, Monkstown. You get a lot of country clubs coming up from lads for spars. They're organised spars, you know what I mean? It's like, put your name up in that blackboard, who's sparring on Wednesday, and you spar some bloke from a different club. That's the way it is, like.
But that's it. And then they're gonna be like, if he's coming up again, like they'll know the week before who's going to be coming up. Just saying, it's like, right, Christian, this bleeding young fella was catching you with the jab this week. This is how we deal with the jab. And it's not like, just get better at your jab, or just try to be faster. It's now, right, let's suss out a game plan, and here's a little thing you can put in place, and you might have 2 whole minutes of success with that, and then like hit their club might say, right, start doing this, and it's constantly developing, and then he might already have that side of things sussed out from someone in his own gym, know what I mean? But no, it makes a huge difference, I find, when it's you mix it up with other lads, know what I mean? Like especially going over to Aspire, like that back control and ground and pound is like, I haven't moved around with lads with like that's solely based on control, ground and pound, let you move, and they can take your back, and they're bleeding snipers on your back. If you make mistakes, they'll catch you, know what I mean? So like that, people say like, what's the saying, iron sharpens iron. It's like, you get people on your back like that and you get good at defending. It's probably like one of the like I found, like I was able to stay so safe in the Kieran Mulholland fight. Like I had Court there on me back. I had Gary Rooney on me back during that camp. Who else? Had a couple of lads. Scott came up and helped us out with a couple of bits, and like I know like their gym are legit on the back as well. Yeah. Like even doing the rounds and Scott trying to choke you, he obviously has some of the same things. Now we like, and that was just it. It was just a couple of rounds, but then like when I was over in Liverpool, I was over in Liverpool for I think a week or so before that fight, or 2 weeks was I? And like even Scott Johnson, unbelievable on the back, Marlon's unbelievable on the back, Liam, like all them lads. There's just so many lads who are good in that particular area, but also they have so many other skill sets as well, know what I mean? But obviously going in with, like if you look at the fight, all he wanted to do was go to me back. He's like a fucking skill bag, the fucker, but like that's what you needed
panic,
to do.
You know, he didn't really get a whole lot from there. He was there, but he really didn't capitalise from it. He wasn't let.
No, exactly, yeah, because if I was just trying to hold his arms, keep them, because like I found if I went to the floor, he probably would have been rolling me side to side, changing the body lock over as soon as you clear. I found like he took me back standing up, but he was comfortable enough carrying the weight, but just like controlling his arms from there, because like it's gravity. He's gonna fucking, his legs are gonna get tighter than mine if they're just sitting underneath me, you know. But like just defending the neck, I felt completely comfortable, so I didn't I didn't feel like there was any moment panic was setting in. Know what I mean? Obviously you're putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. You get comfortable there, don't you?
Yeah, no, 100%. And your next fight is on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah.
So you're pretty happy about that one, getting your own name out there.
That's it. Cage Fight Series, I signed a 4-fight contract with them, so looking forward to going and like getting onto that world stage again, know what I mean, and proving I can do the same thing at pro that I did at amateur, and proving I can compete with anybody. But it's like a different pool of lads, because like there's not many in between here in England, and it's like a lot of lads, like we were even like a lot of lads are padding their records nowadays, and it's like I find over in England and even here, it's like you can only get away with it for so long, know what I mean? And I just never found like not that like I just never like have been offered a fight like that, and I wouldn't go looking for one, and I don't think it would benefit me if I did, know what I mean? So just the way I like it is go in and fight the best. If you beat them, you're better than them, and I believe I'm better than everybody, so I'm gonna go and fight everybody they offer me, know what I mean? He's a good lad from All Star, so he'd be well rounded. He has some top lads over him, but at the end of the day, you're not fighting the lads he's training with, you're fighting him, and he's stuck in there with me, and I'm not stuck in there with him. Know what I mean? That's my mindset going towards it. So I'm fucking buzzing for that. Like UFC Fight Pass is big as well, because hopefully there's a couple of more opportunities come from that, know what I mean? Like I remember when I was a kid watching like The Ultimate Fighter and things, I'd love to do something like that just for the experience of it, know what I mean? I'd say that'd be something like it's a harder route in maybe, but like I don't think you only get one shot at these things, know what I mean? And it's probably I imagine it's something like when Owen and I was over there, he was obviously coaching it, but like anybody I'd say who's done it, like always speaks about it, know what I mean, is like one of the best things they've ever done, so like why not give it a go if it came up, know what I mean?
No, 100%. And if they don't see it on Fight Pass, you know what I mean, it's Fight Pass and then Fight Pass again, it's like this bloke is winning, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Keep the more eyeballs on you, more eyeballs, so you have to put yourself, this is the entertainment business, but the skill business. You have to entertain, but you have to have the skills.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? And
you
it's
have to put yourself in the spotlight.
If you don't have the skills, no one wants to fucking watch you, and that's the way it is. You know what I mean?
And it's a mad sport. It's like people want you want to see finishes when you watch fight, unless it's too like I remember watching the one of my most recent fights that I'd say it's one of my favourite fights is Dillashaw and Sandhagen. Just the how clinical the striking was, like even down to the scrambles. It was 5-round fight, but it's like trying to win everywhere. Like there was submission attempts, there's like they're trying to finish it on the feet. The wrestling wasn't about slowing the fight down and stalling and fucking. It's great. You're winning fights, but it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they will get to a time where, like, I suppose they're probably playing the game as well. They're staying safe, but the more time you're in there, the more chance you have of getting sparked. And anybody tries that with me, they're getting sparked. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter who they are, they're going to be diving for my legs. So the way I look at it is, I don't like, we fight the finish in our gym. Max is the same. Everything's about finishing. Even our rounds are about finishing. So I find if you're going out onto the world stage and you're in the public eye and you have the skill set of trying to go out and finish people, a lot more people are going to look at you quicker than they will someone hanging onto legs and like just hugging them, or like just going for leg locks and then that's all they have in their bank. It's like they're trying to get takedowns to get to the legs, or they're trying to get takedowns to hold people there. It's like, it's entertaining for someone who knows what they're watching, but if you, for the 80% of people who watch probably the sport, they probably don't have a clue, because it's not like football. Not everybody grows up playing, you know what I mean? Where most people who watch football probably played it at some stage and understand how it works, or like they've been watching it their whole life. Where fighting, you can only really understand it if you actually go do it, because it's, you're in there on your own, and it's, you have to be put in them situations to actually know the answers to. You know what I mean? Never have I ever spoke to someone who's only ever watched fighting and had a conversation where they were like, where they actually knew, like, we could have tried this and then went to here, and was able to explain a couple of scenarios. It's always like, he could have just done this. Yeah, you try that when some fella's elbow is sitting on top of your elbow and your head in, know what I mean? Yeah.
I just think the leg locks as well in MMA, a couple of people doing them, but it's too big a price to pay. Yeah, look at what's it, man? The heavyweight, is it? No way. Don't go for them.
The face left like a ball of chewing gum, know what I mean? Holes in it everywhere.
No, don't go for
it's definitely a part of the game that you need to have, especially if you're in a bleeding well-rounded gym. It's like you don't neglect half the body, but if you have to sit onto the floor to bleed and do, well, this fella's trying to, like, one of the ways you get people off your legs is to stick your heel into the floor and you're peeling the legs off to stop them attacking it. They peel one leg off and you're trying to get it back and they're drilling shots down. You'll know all about it. Like.
No, 100%. Jerry, we're going to wrap her up at that.
Perfect.
I have to get out for a bite to eat.
Yeah, starving myself.
Come here. Thanks for coming on. Give Jer a follow on Instagram. What's Jer Harris?
Jer Harris, Instagram.
Jer Harris, please leave a comment underneath this YouTube video. This will be up on Spotify as well. I'm getting back into them again. I've taken a bit of a layoff for the past while, but I'm going to be talking to you a good few blokes that I haven't spoken to in a while.
Yeah, that's it.
Cunts I'm interested in. I was getting all kind of like famous cunts on and stuff like that, but I just want to talk to normal cunts.
That's it, yeah. Joe Soaps, isn't it?
Normal cunts, you know. But anyway, Jerry, nice one. Press that button there and we're out.